So, Brian, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do with your channel.
Well, my name is Brian Eslick. I have the YouTube channel How to Automotive, where I teach everything under the sun, automotive related. And I hooked up with these guys in SEMA, and they hooked me up with one of their smoke machines, and it's been a great relationship. And I wanted to share with you guys how to test a few EVAP leaks and show you some techniques of finding leaks on today's modern vehicles. So I guess what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you some of my basic techniques of finding EVAP leaks. We're going to show you one of their new smoke machines here, the Ready Smoke Pro. I don't know if I'm on the camera here, but
The Total Tech Smoke Pro.
Yep. Total Tech Smoke Pro, so I guess. So Alex, why don't you tell us a little bit about this, and then we'll show them some leaks.
So this is basically our main unit that we've had. This has been the original piece of equipment that we had since the company began. It's used to diagnose pressure leaks in EVAP systems and any type of low pressure system. It uses a visual vapor smoke technology. It has a regulated internal regulator that dials back the pressure. You basically just input shop air, you plug it into the back of the machine, you hook it up to a 12-volt source, normally just the battery on the car, and then you can run the system and you can basically tap into where you need to diagnose your leaks.
All right, so we're going to start with hooking it up to the vehicle. So the first thing we're going to do is you got EVAP service ports. So the machines come with these adapters here that we use to connect to them, so you can easily connect to the EVAP service ports. And the first thing you need to do is you need to take out the Schrader valve. You're not going to be able to see it on camera because it's in here, but there's a Schrader valve in here, but the key to it is they're left-handed threads, or right-handed thread?
Reverse threads, yeah.
Reverse thread, yeah. So righty-loosey, lefty-tighty.
Completely opposite of what anybody's ever been taught. So.
Yeah, to take out the service port, then you hook up to your EVAP service port.
Yep.
I'll hook it up here. Alright, so now we're hooking up here. So what we're going to do is we're going to start smoking the EVAP system here, but the first thing we need to do to get the EVAP system is we need to seal the EVAP system. So what we're going to do is we're going to close the vent in the back because it naturally vents to atmosphere. And so we're going to close the vent. We're going to use a scan tool here, and I'll do that. Let me turn the key on here. So we're gonna close the vent here. So what that does is it seals the system. So there's a purge valve and a vent valve. The vent is naturally open all the time. It's venting air through the system, and we need to close that off to seal it off to test for EVAP leaks. And then the purge valve is naturally closed all the time. So what I'm doing here on the scan tool is I'm closing the vent valve. It's backed by the fuel tank. And now the system is sealed, so now we can start looking for leaks. So now we're going to turn the Smoke Pro on, and it starts pumping smoke.
We're going to make sure our valve's open.
So as you see, it quickly starts pumping a large volume of smoke here. So we're going to hook it up to the EVAP system. And when you watch the flow gauge here, if there's a leak, the flow gauge will be floating at the top. As the system fills up with a volume of smoke and air, the flow gauge will flow down to the bottom, and on the flow gauge here it has little markers indicating how big or small your EVAP leaks may be. So it takes quite a couple minutes, depending on how much gas is in the tank and how big the fuel tanks are, whatever you're hooked up to, for these to fill up. But after 3, 4, 5 minutes, if it doesn't fill up and the ball is floating at the top here, you're pretty sure that you got a leak, and you can start searching around looking for it.
Yeah, and this goes all the way back to the gas tank. So you're basically testing everything from the very front of the truck all the way to the back. You're testing the gas cap for any type of leaks. And you're testing any of the lines, everything like that.
Exactly. You're testing the whole system from start to finish.
Yeah.
So that's what these smoke machines are for, is to find those hard to find leaks. The big and the small leaks. So
how often do you actually you come across vehicles that come into your shop? How often are you having codes that are in relation to EVAP system leaks?
So EVAP codes are, I would say, on the top 5 codes that I see every day in the shop. EVAP, some type of EVAP leak. So that's why it's important to have like an EVAP machine to test for these. If you try to use some of the backyard techniques and stuff like that, you're going to have trouble finding it. So the smoke machines are designed to help you find those leaks fast, because time is money in the shop. And so I use the smoke machines to find the leaks, to determine exactly where they are. I don't use any of those. I'm blowing in a cigar and trying to blow in there and try to rig something up. We want to use a professional tool to find these leaks so we can make money, so we can get these cars in and out of the bays.
Well, what are the other ways or methods that you use that are, probably a little less effective at finding leaks that
you can
come
use
across?
The car itself with a scan tool. You can make the cars run self-checks and stuff, but that's very time-consuming. You can use the old-fashioned soap and water, but that's very hard.
Just really inefficient.
I actually have a little technique to even find the components. So like the vent valve is in the back, and they hide those things in all kinds of places, on top of gas tanks, behind gas tanks, under fender wells. To find, even locate the vent valve, I'll turn the smoke machine on, and I'll just go look for the smoke, and then right there is where the vent valve is. And then I can either close the vent valve with a scan tool, or if you don't have a scan tool, you can close it with like a power probe by adding your own power and ground to a circuit and closing a vent valve. But the key is to find it. You can spend a half hour just locating a part. When you hook the smoke machine up to it, turn it on, and just look for the smoke where it's escaping. That's going to be your vent location.
So that brings up a really cool topic, though. Is like, if you don't have the funds to buy these these $1,000 scan tools or anything like that, you have other methods that you can do that you can get pretty inexpensive off-the-shelf parts to actually do almost the same job. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, you have to get creative. So
as far as like doing EVAP system tests, not for like everything.
Yeah,
else,
so you have to get creative and use basically what he's talking about is testing the electrical portions of the system. So like using jumper wires to turn EVAP and vent valves on. It works, but a scan tool is a much quicker way to do it. Let's see. So we got the smoke pro on, and as you can see here, the flow gauge has flown pretty much down at the bottom here, indicating there's no leak. But if there is a leak in the system, we're going to create a leak here. So we got this valve here. As you can see, the smoke will pour out, and then the flow gauge flow to the top.
You have your meter right at the top, like way above 30 thousandths of an inch.
So that'll indicate how large of the leak.
So basically, like now that we've diagnosed that there isn't really a leak in the system, you can also check the function of your purge valve. So you can actually activate your purge valve and make sure, like, hey, this is working correctly. It's not an electrical issue that I'm having. It's not something that's keeping it from running or working.
Yeah.
So we'll go.
So I have a technique for you guys. So a purge valve is a common failure part on it. So we can go ahead and turn the smoke off real quick. So what we can do to test to see if the purge valve on this particular GM, it's right here on top of the throttle body. So this fuel line is hooked directly to a vacuum switch here, which is what they refer to as the purge valve. If there's a leak, it sucks the fumes and air right into the intake. So a quick little test is you can take a hose and a tap into the purge valve, and then you can hook your smoke machine to the purge valve. So now we can test to see if it's turn it on.
So we're open right now.
So right now, because the flow gauge went straight to the bottom, we know that this purge valve is closed in its closed position. And then if we want to test to see if it wants to work, you can either use a jumper wire and you can jump it, or you can use a scan tool and you can turn it on. Let's see. Takes a second for it to load up here. So you can turn the purge valve on, and now if you look, the flow gauge is flown to the top, and even if you open the intake up, now you can see the smoke in the inside of the intake. So you know that this valve opens and closes, and it holds its pressure. So you've just tested that valve, you've ruled that out using the smoke probe to find that leak or determine that it's functioning properly.
So that basically covers like testing the front of the vehicle. So now let's say you want to test the gas tank, or you want to actually, you basically nullified that there's no leak in the system and that your gas cap is good. But what if you want to hook up to that backside? You want to hook up to the gas tank. We also have a wide variety of tools that enable you to do that. One in particular is our Easy EVAP. So our Easy EVAP right here, this basically hooks onto, it's a universal filler neck adapter. It's a universal filler neck adapter, and it enables you to hook up to basically any filler neck that there is on the market. It has these adhesive strips that go. Oh, there we go. Has an adhesive strip that you slap on just like this, and then basically you can clean off the surface of the filler neck. You adhere it on, and then that creates a sealed system, and that enables you to test the gas tank for any type of leaks or anything like that. And it can be used multiple times. It does have the adhesive strip, so if you do keep it pretty clean, if you keep it out of like dirt and like heavily like debris areas, stuff like that, you can use it multiple times. But we recommend, probably changing the adhesive strip every time you use it.
Yeah, and it comes with a pack of multiple.
Yeah, it comes with I think 12 adhesive strips, and it also has, so if your filler neck has the flapper on the inside, the internal valve, this will open that up for you, so that'll enable you to test that type of system also. Another thing that actually we utilize our machine with is for intake systems, not just EVAP systems, but intake systems. And so let's demonstrate how we're going to be hooking up to an intake system. We have our Easy Intake,
Which we're giving away, by the way.
yeah, this is what we're giving away today. So basically what happens is it has a pass-through port and an expandable bladder. So you basically put it in an orifice on an intake system or exhaust system or something like that. Even if it's a really strange shape, it'll conform to that size and it'll seal it off. And it'll enable you to get at least a pound of pressure behind it. So what we can do is you have this valve right here, and you release your pressure, and you can put it on the inside of an intake pipe. This is the intake off of this 5.3 Vortex Chevy engine, and you can see it's a pretty large intake. Normally you're going to have a really hard time sealing something up, especially if you're wanting to find leaks between the intake or the mass airflow sensor and the throttle body, and this enables you to do that. So basically it's conformed to that whole size. It's filled that up, and what you can do is you take your port for your smoke machine, you plug it right in just like that, and it runs through and it'll fill the system directly.
See if this adapter there. We can
Oh wow, look at that.
So
There
we
you go.
can
So we got it. Oh.
Hold on. So go
Yeah,
ahead.
we don't have to clamp it, but
Go ahead and,
yeah. So we have our smoke that we're gonna be generating.
so we're demonstrating. It's on. It's on.
So we're smoking right now. So we're gonna run.
So you would hook it up to an intake manifold. That would pump right into the intake, and you would look for your vacuum leaks on the intake manifold. And it's an easy, super fast way to connect up to the car and use the Smoke Pro or the Ready Smoke or the smoke machine they're using to get in there and test those systems. Speed is key here. Is hooking up to the cars and making it easy to hook up to the cars.
Yeah. So you can see it's actually.
Build that pressure.
Yeah. So we're building up about a pound of pressure, and a pound of pressure you really wouldn't think would be that much, but when you consider volume, like heavy volumes on intakes, you need that system to be sealed. You need to have a strong, like even using a cap, we probably should have like clamped this shut in order to do that. But you can see the Easy Intake, it's not pulling out, it's not going anywhere.
And also, if you notice, it also did not leak.
No, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't leak at all. Completely sealed the system.
Yeah.
So this is like a really, honestly, this is one of my favorite tools that we have here, and it's so universal. Like even if you want to test a system that's a little bit higher pressure. If you want to find just easy leaks, let's say you have a boost hose that flies off, and you want to test and make sure that that's not leaking, or if you have, let's say you have a twin turbo system that has dual intercoolers and a bunch of intake piping, and you're just lost in a plethora of clamps, then you want to be able to test that. And if you don't have a high pressure machine, which we also offer, you're more than capable of using our smoke machine with our Easy Intake.
Yeah, that's pretty quick and easy way to find those things.
Yeah. So the great thing about a lot of our products is everything that we have is made right here. It's made right here in Orange, California, and it has. I think, I'm a little bit biased, but I think it has just an absolutely amazing quality. How does that benefit the customer? How does that benefit you having all the products, all these machines made right here in the U.S.?
One of the great things about it is you have a problem, it's quick turnaround. You don't have to ship your tool back to China or something like that, or wait for it to come from China or anything like that. These are made right here in America, so if there's any issues, it can be handled right away.
Yeah.
And of course, who doesn't want to support America and the economy you know, it's an all around
Yeah,
great thing.
and we also, so we have basically around the clock. If you ever call up Redline and you have any questions, if you're working on a vehicle that you're not sure to how to hook up to, if you're having diagnostics problems or questions or anything like that, we have a full service staff of master technicians that are ready to answer the phone to help you with any questions that you have. And that's just a great. That's what I think is one of the great benefits about us being here, and the warranty we have with most of our equipment is, I mean, you can't beat it. With our Total Tech here, it comes with a full replacement 2-year warranty. Like basically anything that happens to it, and even if like something small breaks, if you have a hose that comes that breaks, or even if like you're working on a car and you lower the lift and all of a sudden, I mean, your smoke machine just gets annihilated. You call us up within that 2-year interval and we'll replace it, no questions asked.
Very cool.
So we have the two products here. We have the Ready Smoke here, and we have the Total Tech. Tell us why you chose to go with our Ready Smoke machine versus going with our Total Tech.
So the Total Tech here is, I would consider it a shop tool. Like, you know, 10 guys are going to use this thing and beat up on it, and you know, this is a much more durable package here because it's made out of more durable materials. So this is the tool I would say like a shop. You know, somebody from the shop would want to own this for multiple guys. But this one here is for more personal use. And the reason why I like it is because like I was saying, EVAP codes are some of the #1 codes, and that's what I'm doing all the time. And I don't want to wait on the shop tools, so I want to looking for a portable machine that I could use myself. And one of the cool things I liked about it was I could put this in my toolbox, shut the door, lock the drawer, and it fit in there, and I don't have to worry about, you know, some of those other machines are massive. You know, I have to put them on shelves and stuff. That's one of the reasons why I went with it. It gave me the freedom to advance. You know, not advance, but it gave me the freedom to test systems and just have it right there at the ready. So that's why I went with this. It's a little bit less expensive than the other one, but the quality I wouldn't say is any less, you know, but
it's still durable. It's still got that I think it's 16 gauge cold rolled steel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super durable. We've done significant testing with this machine. I've literally slammed this thing on the ground and had it work absolutely perfectly, like with lightning speed to the concrete.
Yeah.
It still works. Like, and that's one of my perks of my job is I get to break this like really nice, pretty equipment just to do the testing. But the thing is, so with the Total Tech, it actually comes with an easy intake. It's not. It's with the Ready Smoke, it's a sold separately item. And also with the Ready Smoke, you have a 1-year full replacement, no questions asked warranty. And with our 3C Total Tech, you have a 2-year replacement warranty.
yeah. So if I was the shop owner, I would be purchasing this one. As the technician, this is the one I like to go to. It's the one I use every single day when I get an EVAP code in the shop. So this is the one I use every day.
So now that we're coming to closer to the end, we're going to be giving away one of these awesome easy intakes. So we we're going to randomly select one of our registered followers that are following. I think we have our box right here. It might be heavy, so just put it like that. So do the honors. Go ahead and pull it out of there.
All right.
That's random.
It looks like we got a Ken
Rensler.
Ken Rensler. Looks
Ken
like you're
Rensler.
the winner of a brand new easy intake. This is going to be a really cool little tool to help you to hook up to these cars really fast. You're going to really love this.
Yeah, it's a great tool, and it's really awesome.
Congratulations.
So, and if anybody's interested in seeing this equipment in action, we are going to be showcasing it and demoing it at next week in Vegas at the Mac Tools Show and the Matco trade shows next week. So tune into that, and if you need any more information, I mean, definitely give us a call.
And make sure you're following along for more webinars and stuff like that. We're going to get more in depth, and we'll benefit all of us.
Yeah, so we're going to be going over a lot of our equipment. This is only really a small taste of the capabilities that Redline has, and as far as our diagnostics capabilities, we have things to test multiple systems, like as far as pressure systems, turbo systems. We're going to be hooking up to diesel trucks. We're going to be hooking up to twin turbo cars. We're going to be like working on different systems, coolant systems, and showing you guys how to do all that, so you get a feel for our technology and what we're capable of, and what we want you to be able to be capable of.
So make sure you're following along for all those future updates.
Cool.